Welcome back to Brad Pitt Career Mode on F125. Today we're back for episode number 19 in Texas. We've got some more parts to adapt for next year's car, but still no upgrades. So, okay. Verstappen has gone with Red Bull. Not really surprised by that, to be honest. So I guess we have Leclerc and Piastri as, like, prospects. I don't know. I'm not really too worried about that right now. I just want to win the championship. So in order to get these ultimate upgrades, we need our workforce to be at 600 in the engineering department. We're only at 535, and to get there, we have to do all these, you know, smaller little facility improvements. So I don't know if we're going to even get those ultimate upgrades by the end of the season. I mean, there's only like 5 races left or something. So I think Red Bull has fitted some ultimate upgrades because they've got a bit of a jump in the performance index. So we have a noticeable gap to Red Bull in terms of the car. We're pretty much on par with Mercedes at the moment. But obviously we're fighting Red Bull for the constructors and fighting Verstappen for the drivers. So I don't know. That's a little concerning. Well, into the race weekend we go. Hopefully it's a good one. So this is a sprint weekend here at COTA. It's been a little while since we've had a sprint race. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about it. So hopefully we can get some good results in the sprint, but I'm very worried about tire wear around here, especially on the mediums, because it'll probably be a one-stop, but these mediums have been really brutal the last couple races. Just terrible. The car setup is feeling pretty balanced though. I feel like we should have decent pace around here. I think it's going to be a lot of tire management and battery management once we get into the full-length race. But hopefully we have good pace for qualifying too. That's been kind of a point where we've been struggling lately. Okay, into sprint qualifying. We're going to let the track get a little rubbered up first so we have more grip, because we've only got 1 lap on the mediums. Alright, first lap in Q1 puts us in 4th place, a 130.7. Our lap in Q2 is a 130.5. So not much improvement. Okay, on to the softs for sprint qualifying 3. We'll have way more grip on these tires, so hopefully we can push it a bit more. Okay, just 1 more corner to go. In Q3, we go wide around the final corner, and it's 8th. Oh, no. Okay, I guess that wasn't a great lap. Jeez. Well, I'm already worried about the mediums lasting for the whole sprint, so we're absolutely not going to go with the softs. But 10 laps on the mediums, starting in 8th place for the sprint. Around COTA, 5 red lights are on, and we are racing for 10 laps around Texas. Not really the best start off the line. We're getting past into turn 1, but we've got the inside, so we can make it around this first bend with no problems at all. There's a 3-way fight in front of us. Russell's slowing up. We can get past the Mercedes right behind Sainz. So 1 place made up at the start. They're all going to back each other up into this left-hander so we can get past the McLaren really close to Hamilton. Almost a double overtake, but that's up into 6th. Oh, that's Hamilton past Lando now. So they've slowed each other up just a little bit, so we are going to be close enough for a move on Lando as long as we get a good run through here. They're really slow into this left-hander. They brake a little bit too early, so we can go for a late dive on the McLaren. Down the inside, it's a little bit of contact with Lando, forcing him off the track. Not the cleanest move we've ever done, but we're up into 5th place. Lando is still behind us in the slipstream. He's got the DRS as well, and I think we can just close the door on Lando Norris. Keep 5th place. Now we can go after Hamilton. We're just on the edge of the DRS to Hamilton ahead, but we have been using a lot of battery, so we need to charge the battery a little bit before we go for a move, so he doesn't re-overtake right away. But we've dropped Lando behind, so we're free to push. The front runners are already starting to pull a gap. It's 3 seconds to Leclerc, and the Red Bulls are ahead of him as well. So I think Verstappen and Piastri might already be long gone. We can at least get Hamilton and maybe Leclerc. We're consistently in the DRS of Lewis Hamilton. We just need a little bit more on the battery, and then we can send it down this straight. This will probably be the best opportunity for a move on the Ferrari. We just need a good exit out of that final corner and plenty of battery, and we should be able to fly past Hamilton, potentially on the next lap. We'll see. Okay, I think this is it. We just need a really good run through the S's here. Yeah, really close to Hamilton on corner exit here. We've got a bit more battery to dump down the straight. We've got the DRS and the slipstream on the Ferrari. We're slowly reeling him in. I think this is going to be it. We're going to go for a move, switch to the outside, and try to get around the Ferrari. We're still side by side. We've got the inside for the next corner, and that is us up into P4. Past Lewis Hamilton on lap number 7. We've got Leclerc ahead on the softs, so hopefully his tires are starting to die off and we can go for him. Hamilton is still sticking with us, so hopefully we don't fight more with him and get slowed up. But these tires are not, oh yeah, really wide there. These tires are starting to die off. On to lap 9, so 2 laps to go. We've got pretty heavy tire wear on the rears, which is definitely not helping us catch Leclerc. We've made up a couple of tenths in the last lap or so, but I don't think that's going to be enough. We might see a move from Hamilton here. He's only 5 tenths back. We've got pretty much no battery to defend this with. He's got the DRS. We're going to give him the outside line, and braking at exactly the same time with the inside line. We can cover off Hamilton, but we've still got a lap to go. We need more on the battery. On to the final lap of the sprint race in just a minute. We've still got Hamilton pretty much breathing down our neck. Onto the straight we go. Hamilton has the DRS. He's going to pass us on the straight. We're going to have to go for a super late dive into turn 1 down the inside on Hamilton. Really wide. Taking a weird line, still side by side with the Ferrari drag racing into the S's. He kind of backs out, and that gives us 4th place on the final lap. We're going to have to lift a little bit here, let the Ferrari past, and steal the DRS from Hamilton. There he goes, but we're going to be close enough for a move. Down the inside, really close to contact with Hamilton. There might have been a little bit of wheel banging, but we have the DRS on the straight, stolen from the Ferrari, so it's going to be no problem to get past Hamilton, but we've got Lando in the mix now. We're going to take the outside line, try to close the door on the McLaren. We're still side by side. Again, we have the inside line, and we'll keep 4th place. Just a couple of quarters to go here. We've still got Lando right behind us, but there's not really any opportunities for the McLaren driver to go for a move. So that is going to be P4 in the sprint race. Not an ideal result, but P8 to P4. At least we can make up some places, get some more points. Hopefully we have better pace in the full length race here. Once again, we've got rain in qualifying. That's happening like every single weekend now. I'm really sick of that. I'm hoping we have good pace. It seems like the AI in this year's game aren't as good in the wet as previous years, so hopefully we can capitalize on that. First lap of Q1 is 6th place, but we kind of took it easy on that one. Final lap of Q1, we've got almost 5 seconds of improvement. Purple in the first 2 sectors. Absolutely flying. And that's first in the session. There we go. Our first and only lap of Q2. We've definitely got the pace. Purple again. Once again, first in the session. So hopefully we can keep this up for Q3. we have a shot at pole here. I mean, we're doing pretty well. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this qualifying session, but we're in first by 1.5 seconds. Second place is Stroll, then Gasly, Bortoleto, Colapinto in the Aston Martin. Alonso's out, and Verstappen is all the way down in 10th. I don't know what's happening. We've had pretty crazy pace in qualifying. So I feel like we've kind of got a lock for pole position. I don't know why no one else can can drive in the rain right now. Okay, first lap of Q3 is a 141.1, which is a second and a half faster than our fastest time in Q2, and that's only good enough for fourth. Okay, did everyone just turn it on now? Well, quite the turn of events. Everyone locked in. Piastri's in the 139s. So we need a really fast lap. Okay, around the final corner, 0.6 of improvement, but it's not going to be enough for pole position. Third place on the grid. That was really weird. So all of Q1 and Q2, we were just destroying everybody by like over a second. And now Q3, the Red Bulls pull out crazy times. 139.1 for Verstappen. That's like actually nuts. Well, I mentioned this last race, but I think it's in our best interest to start the race on the hards and then switch to the mediums when the car's a little bit lighter on fuel, because these tires have been pretty much useless like this whole season. I assume everyone else is going to be starting on the mediums, though. Yeah, we are the only the only guys starting on the hards, so we might be a little bit slow at the beginning of the race, but hopefully we'll throw on the mediums at the end and be flying. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, third place on the grid. 5 red lights are on behind both the Red Bulls. And we are racing around Texas, gonna try to get to the inside as soon as we can. Leclerc blocks us off into turn 1. We can try to get back past the Ferrari around the first corner, drag racing with Leclerc. We've got the outside into the S's, dumping the battery and pulling ahead of the Ferrari. Gonna try to catch these Red Bulls now, but it's gonna be tough. We will be slower no matter what than the Red Bulls. We're in a slower car and on slower tires, but hopefully we can just cling on enough where once we switch onto the mediums, we'll be way faster and we can make up that gap. That's the game plan for now. We'll see how it goes. We're just barely outside the DRS to Piastri, but if we can get within DRS of this Red Bull, that will be absolutely huge, because we'll get dragged along by a faster car on faster tires, and then once we're on those mediums, we'll be able to fly past. We just don't have the same level of grip through that last section that Piastri does on the mediums. I mean, we've been dumping the battery too. We're still just barely outside of DRS. We really need this. Yeah, we're using all of our battery just to try to get within DRS. It's 1.6 seconds to Piastri. I think the pace difference on these tires is it's just too much. Leclerc's been sticking with us too. He's actually gained a couple tenths on this lap, so I think we're gonna let him through and just stick within the DRS of the Ferrari. Hopefully he can drag us along, bring us closer to the Red Bulls. There goes Leclerc. I don't know. I think that's really our only chance to gain time on these guys, but he's in a much slower car than the Red Bulls, so I don't know. All right, we've got the DRS. We've got Piastri 4 seconds up the road, so we just need to keep tabs on that gap and see if we get any closer behind the Ferrari. But all we have to do is just stay close enough to the Red Bulls where once we get onto the mediums, we can make up that gap. Okay, yeah, this isn't working. Piastri's 5.3 seconds ahead. So I think it's time to get back past the Ferrari. I think we do have more pace than him, so maybe it was a bad idea to let him through in the first place. Here we go. We can send a move down the inside on Leclerc. Back up into third place, onto the podium. We've got plenty of battery, so we gotta try to drop Leclerc as soon as we can, so we don't waste too much time battling with the Ferrari and lose more time to the Red Bulls. On to lap number 7, but we might see a move from Leclerc here. He's got the DRS down the straight into turn 1. He's going up the inside. We can try to get back underneath the Ferrari. Gonna dump the battery on exit side by side with Leclerc, pulling ahead before the S's and keeping third place. That was a nice move. All right, we cannot afford any more fighting with Leclerc. We need to really try to drop him now. Gonna go into full push mode.
A few inches later.
I'm afraid to lean too much on these tires because our stint on the mediums is like 14 laps, and they were dead by the end of the sprint, and that was only 10 laps. So that's a bit concerning. All right, well, we don't have to worry about Leclerc anymore. We've got 7 seconds to Piastri, and to be honest, I feel like that's not that bad. I mean, we're on the slower tires, so we're supposed to be slower. 7 seconds isn't terrible. Once we get onto the mediums, it's just Verstappen is 12 seconds ahead. That's the real problem. And there's Verstappen in the pit lane, so we'll see the gap to Verstappen once he's out of the pits. But it's only Piastri ahead. I think if we just push on these next, like, 2 or 3 laps, we should be in a pretty good position. That's Piastri in the pit lane now. Our pit window is open, but we're going to stay out an extra lap or 2 because these tires feel fine at the moment. So the longer we can make these ones last, the more we can save the mediums. I don't know. We'll see. Verstappen is gaining, so we are slower on these tires in terms of, lap times, but the grip is still fine. So I think we'll do one more lap and come in at the end of lap number 16, because that's only 12 laps on the medium. So as long as we don't push too hard, we should be fine. Okay, into the pit lane we go in just a second. I'm really hoping these mediums don't just completely fall off, but there's only one way to find out. Here we go. It is the Brad Pitt crew. Onto the mediums we go. Great stop from the team. The extra pit crew training has paid off, and there goes Piastri into turn 1. So we've just made up time on the Red Bull. It's only a 3-second gap to Piastri now. We've got the faster tires. That just worked out perfectly. Yeah, we have way more grip than Piastri right now, especially through that last section. We made up like 6/10 on the Red Bull, so we can definitely go for a move on Piastri. But Verstappen is 16 seconds ahead, so we're going to need to lap over a second a lap faster consistently until the end of the race if we want a shot at him. We're just outside of DRS from Piastri on lap 19, so we can get him pretty soon. Here we go. We've got the DRS. We've got plenty of battery stored up. On to lap 20. I think this is the lap we can finally go for a move. We've been consistently gaining through this section. We just have way more grip on these mediums. That's us up a couple of tenths on Piastri. We won't be close enough for a dive into this left-hander, but we're going to gain a lot of time in the braking zone and be really close to the Red Bull on corner exit. We've got the DRS. We've got plenty of battery. This is going to be nice and easy for a move into second place. Here we go on Piastri around the outside. And that is second on lap 20. That was absolutely perfect. So I think this strategy has worked out pretty well. We just had the fastest lap of the race. We've knocked off like 3 seconds to Verstappen. The only problem is he built such a big gap at the beginning that it's going to be near impossible to get him by the end. 12 seconds to Verstappen now, so we are still gaining on the Red Bull. But, I mean, that is a huge task to make up 12 seconds in 8 laps. He is going to be running into a lot of back markers, so hopefully they can hold him up. If that's the case, we might have a chance to at least just get within DRS, and maybe we can make something work. Yeah, he's about to run into a lot of traffic, a lot of blue flags for Verstappen, but, I mean, we've only got 5 laps to go, and it's a 12-second gap, so I don't know if it's worth continuing to push on these tires. Well, at this point, I think our chances of catching Verstappen are very slim, unless he makes a big mistake, but our pace is kind of evened out, so not much else we can do. It's just not worth continuing to shred these mediums if there's a chance that Piastri can still catch up. I mean, he's going to have a lot more life on his tires than we will on ours. So I think we start to manage the tires a bit. On to the final lap of the race. Verstappen is long gone, but now we have to worry about Piastri. He's almost within DRS. He's got a lot more grip on those tires at this point in the stint than we have on the mediums. So we're really going to have to worry about Piastri now. There's a good chance he's going to have DRS on that long straight. Oh, he's right on the edge of DRS. I think he's going to get it. Yeah, the gap is 9/10. So Piastri will have the DRS. We go a little bit wide through here. We don't have that much battery left to fight this with if he's close enough for a move. But he's going to gain a lot of time here. He is really close now. The gap is only 3/10 to the Red Bull. He's going to be faster through these corners, but there's not really any opportunities for him to go for a move. These next couple of corners are super fast. We don't really have any big braking zones left on this lap. There's just 2 corners to go. Piastri is right behind us into the final corner, but I think it's going to be too little, too late for Piastri, and that's second place in Texas.
That's a podium.
Once again, Verstappen just running away, and absolutely nothing we can do about it.
Well done.
That is ridiculous. Jeez. I gotta say, I'm getting a little worried about how fast Verstappen has been in that Red Bull. I mean, the last like 6 races, he's had 2 DNFs, and he's still climbing the order for the championship. Oh man, well, I mean, the strategy worked. It was pretty good starting on the hards. We were flying at the end. We were gaining time on Verstappen, but they just died off too quickly. So we can do that for the future races, but we need to find something else to stop this guy. I mean, this is insane. As always, here's a look at the standings. So it's a 62-point gap to Verstappen with 5 races left on the season. So it only takes 1 mistake. If we drop out of the points for some reason, or I don't know, anything happens, we're really going to have a fight on our hands. So that's concerning. And Red Bull has now passed us in the Constructors. We really need Alonso to start pulling his weight. Yeah, dude. So across 19 races this whole season, Alonso's been on the podium 5 times. And there are 2 races where we haven't been on the podium. And 10 of those were race wins. So we really do need Alonso to pull it together. Otherwise, he's getting the boot. But yeah, this is getting interesting. All right, well, Mexico up next. I'll see you for that one.